if it seems like Nicki has an issue with female rappers, I think perhaps consider what issues they may have with her, the biggest and best femme rapper of our time, with the biggest fan base. We shouldn't be surprised to see her opponents trying all types of antics and subs and this and that to try and get at her. And Nicki squashing them like bugs under the weight of her lyrics, fan base, influence, and empire is fine because all is fair in love and hip hop war. Okay, so does Nicki Minaj have a problem working with other female rappers? And in my opinion, no. Nicki Minaj does not have a problem working with other female rappers. My name is Blessing Makosha, aka Big Money B. I'm a barrister in training, a hip-hop head, and I love talking about femme rap culture on my YouTube channel. I recently posted a video about Nicki's #1 hit single, Super Freaky Girl, the Roman remix, and the female rapper Queen mix that came shortly thereafter. There was definitely some drama around the release, and Nicki felt like it was necessary to G-check a couple of female rappers who were throwing shade at who she decided to have on the remix and who she decided to work with. This prompted social media critics of Nicki Minaj to claim Nicki was being typically negative, being that she's having issues with female rappers again. So my view, and I expressed this view in my video, Nicki Minaj versus Hypocrisy, so check that out on my channel. But my view is that Nicki doesn't have a problem with female rappers or working with them. But the reality is, if you do your research, female rappers have a particularly bad track record of making Nicki Minaj uncomfortable to work with them. And it's usually because of how they act as people and not as artists. And I think it's important that we make that distinction. So something that I think is worth noting is that when female rappers are genuinely good artists and confident with what they're bringing to the table, Nicki collaborates well with them and we get iconic moments for the culture, which these women have been loudly grateful for. For example, we've got Whole Lot of Money remixed with Bia. Nicki gave Bia an assist with her hit Whole Lot of Money, and with the remix they were able to boost its chart success. Bia was born, and since then Bia has continued to show love and support to Nicki. She came out during Nicki's Wireless set in London this year, and she also appeared on the Queen mix, where she once again referenced Bia and her relationship with Nicki. You had Coi Leray, who had Blick Blick with Nicki Minaj this year as well. You know, we got the iconic moment of Coi in a pink wig bob with Nicki also in a pink wig bob. And there was a lot of collaboration and chemistry there. And you were also hearing Nicki actually jump into Coi's flow pocket and pick up her flow for her verse, which was really unique and special. She did the same thing on the back of Malibu Mitch's verse on the Super Freaky Girl Queen mix. Mally says they be something to Bia, and then Nicki says Whole Lot of Money like Nicki and Bia. So again, it shows that specialness of that bond. You know, these are female rappers that Nicki is bonding with as artists, and it shows in the fact that, you know, she's name dropping them in the music. Overall, I felt like the way that Nicki set up the remix and the way she was ad-libbing over the girls' verses it gave me goosebumps. It was magical, you know, seeing Nicki really peak Nicki, inspiring all these girls who are, you know, I loved how every single girl switched her flow in her verse. It's like, even though they hadn't had a chance to hear everyone else, they didn't even know who else was on there. They knew they had to come hard and they were switching up their verse. Like, that's the sort of artistic influence that Nicki really has. And I want to reference JT, who was the first verse on the track. And she talked about feeling more confident and comfortable with music and talking about music since working with Nicki Minaj on Queen Mix. And just generally since working with her and having more conversation with her. So I think it's fair enough to say that Nicki can tell when people just want to come up from her, and that's why they want to work with her, and versus somebody who genuinely wants to connect with her as an artist. In my opinion, you'll actually see Nicki loosen up and do creative and fun things with her raps when she feels safe to do so as an artist, brand, and businesswoman, like in the examples I just gave. So overall, I think the issue here is that the rap girls are not confident about occupying the same space as Nicki Minaj, and we shouldn't expect Nicki to embrace girls who don't actually embrace her. For various reasons, you know, these rap girls are not confident in a booth, on a track, anywhere with Nicki Minaj, and it's either because they use ghostwriters, and a lot of them do, or they don't believe that they can match Nicki lyrically. And that's why I said in my other video, they're keeping it on the playground, you know, because if it's the playground of social media or behind the scenes antics, then the public is more focused on who is more likable and not who is the better rapper. Now, in my opinion, Nicki's always going to be fighting a losing battle because she has the biggest ego, and rightfully so. And she has more to defend. She has more of a career to defend, more of a spot to defend. As a rapper, though, she works well with other professional artists and other talented artists. And that's clear by the masses of features she has stretching across genders and genres. Overall, Nicki is too good to not have haters who want her spot. Rap is competitive and Nicki is the only competition to beat. If it seems like Nicki has an issue with female rappers, I think perhaps consider what issues they may have with her, the biggest and best femme rapper of our time, with the biggest fan base. We shouldn't be surprised to see her opponents trying all types of antics and subs and this and that to try and get at her. And Nicki squashing them like bugs under the weight of her lyrics, fan base, influence, and empire is fine because all is fair in love and hip-hop war. You know, there are no rules except for to win. And Nicki has been consistently winning while all you come and go, you know? So at the end of the day, does Nicki Minaj have a problem working with other women? No. Do other women have a problem working around Nicki Minaj? Yes. And that has nothing to do with Nicki and everything to do with her talent and the massive market share she owns of femme rap. There wouldn't be femme rap without Nicki Minaj and her fans. And she knows that. We know that. We just need people who think that she has a problem working with other women to know that too, and to know the standard at which she delivers and works. Because when you are goated, when you are competition to beat, you know, you are going to bring your absolute best to make sure nobody can beat you. And I think that at the end of the day, Nicki Minaj is still the queen of rap. It doesn't matter whether she works with any women. It doesn't matter whether she works with 100 women. At the end of the day, she has followed her artistry and worked with people who have pulled out genuine art from her and the comfort to create in peace. And I think that is really, you know, the thing we should focus on, and less of the optics around who's winning Miss Female Rap Congeniality. So make sure that you like this video, leave a comment and subscribe. As usual, you gotta let the algorithm know that I'm back. Otherwise it's gonna be mad disrespectful to me and then I'll get upset. But yeah, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about everything I discussed and I will see you in my next video. Bye.